Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
It is Sunday, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
An old man and an older man are going to sit here and argue about wrestling.
But before we do that, I would like to say congrats to this team right here.
That nobody cares about.
Wait a minute. 6-time Super Bowl champs.
Nobody cares.
Which is a couple more than those Dallas Cowgirls.
So I'm going to, just to put it out there, I don't like to go down this road with you about football. This is how much more important the Cowboys are. You can make a living being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. All you can do is play on the field when you're a Patriot.
That's fine.
What's going on, Slappy?
I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only difference. But that's the only thing keeping the Patriots from number one is the Broncos.
Good.
But I will say this. Your Cowboys are out. The Commanders are out. Okay.
I will never call them the Commanders.
Oh,
Cowboys would never end. Let's be serious.
Hey, watch it, New York.
The Giants are out. The Jets are out. So, okay, whatever.
I got the bill. Just your face.
Oh, yeah. The other two will play for draft picks like the third weekend. But, anywho, that's not what we're here for.
No, we're not, but you had to start with that shit.
But what we are here for is, it was a nice ending to the year and not a bad beginning.
No, it still sucks.
But because they've actually had some house shows this week.
Oh, God, let it go.
It was a little bit more crisp. We had title changes this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know whose titles changed? Did you ever actually pay attention, or did you have to go look it up?
No. I know Julia won.
Yeah.
And she beat Chelsea. So that's why Jacob right now is probably not here because he's in mourning.
I understand that. But Chelsea's husband debuted, not as Zach Woo Woo Woo, but as always ready Matt Cardona. And I was going to ask you about that. What do you think about that? Like, they brought him in, he did the fucking woo 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 bullshit gimmick, and now he's back as they're saying Matt Cardona. Now, the Matt Cardona I watched on the Indies, the Matt Cardonas I've seen in TNA, AEW, and everywhere else, the King of the Death Match Matt Cardona that was in CZW, I don't know if we're going to get that. I think we're going to get.
I'll give you one. In my mind, here's the reason. He doesn't have to work for the paycheck anymore. He doesn't have to do those meet and greets, sell that merchandise and all that crap. How old is Matt? 40?
Does it fucking matter though?
No, I'm just saying.
You know what you sound like right now?
No, I'm saying is there comes a point, probably for some of these guys, you get to a certain age, it's like instead of having to, because Matt Cardona, we can admit, is a hustler. He made a killing on the Indies because he's a hustler. He did a lot of that work himself. He sold his merchandise, booked his shows.
So did Cody. So did the guy that you gave shit to the other day, Danhausen. What's going on?
What I'm saying is, though, Matt Cardona might have come to a point in his career where he says, you know what? I'm done doing that. And I get to work with my wife.
Okay, that's where I'm getting at right there. Because you can sit there and say, I don't give a fuck. And he's actually one person who I truly believe was doing it for the love of the game. I really do think he enjoyed even the independent wrestling. He's going to make his money, of course, but I think he really enjoyed it. I think the only reason he wanted to come back to the E was to be with his wife. And who can blame him? Maybe Gerard does, because Gerard doesn't like the husband-wife gimmicks. He's always
hold on. In this specific incident, in this case, how can you find? I can't even find something wrong with it because has it been a long time in the waiting for? Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to make her better? I think it will make. Now, I don't know how much better she can get.
She's excellent. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much better she can get.
She used his move.
And I'm just saying. And if you put those two together in a match, the comedy routine.
Chayton, that company doesn't count. When you have to when you have to put a sign up that says may cause seizures, that company doesn't count. When motion sickness from sitting on your couch and watching that shit is a possibility, that show doesn't count. When they're when their best performers are zombies and cocaine, that doesn't count. I'm sorry. And when their head booker is Vince Russo.
Oh, that definitely doesn't count.
Thank you.
Why was that the last reason and not the first?
I put it this way: I think Eric Bischoff's new promotion is more legit than anything Vince Russo does.
But Eric Bischoff's doing real wrestling.
That's what I'm saying.
It's real wrestling. Yeah, well, you can't not. Look, the only reason you like the Black Dahlia, and you can look her up if you want the rest of the Black Dahlia, is because her ass is the size of me and Gerard's giant head put together.
I was going to say the size of Texas.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty big. I'm aware. When we showed Gerard, right? Cocaine. Did we show Gerard? Yeah. Cocaine. And he doesn't look like Kane anymore. He actually has his own mask and gimmick.
It's not something to where, he should be promoted just for the simple name of cocaine. Because you mentioned Kane, Glenn Jacobs came out with a funny thing about telling The Rock to stay out of politics.
Yeah,
and you know what? He has a point.
Anybody that goes in there and this stuff and says, I don't know, you're a fucking performer, dude. You're an athlete. Unless you know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. No one cares. All right, you're not going to put money in my pocket. You're not going to take care of my taxes. You're not going to take care of my fucking state. You're just there to get on my fucking nerves. I'll say this for Glenn Jacobs. He legitimately cares about Knox County, and he puts in, from what I've seen, he's doing what he can for his fucking Commonwealth. So don't fuck with, fuck him.
Then again,
and we've heard directly from people who live in that area and say nothing but great things about what he's doing out there.
Even though you'll have other people try to run Kane or Glenn Jacobs into the fucking mud who don't even live in Knox County, don't even live in fucking Tennessee. 50. Shout out to our boy 50. And I'm sorry, but shout out to Kylo. I'm sorry. Kylo, hope you're doing well. Hope your uncle's doing good. Yeah, but he was talking about Glenn Jacobs being the shit. And Kylo is not
approachable
and very approachable. Yeah, Kylo said himself he's not what you would call your typical Republican, if at all.
First of all, okay, all you gotta do is take a look at Glenn Jacobs and be like, okay, he's a big son gun. Okay,
you see, I thought you were gonna say some bitch, but go on.
He's a big son gun, and I think he leads by being that big son gun. He can actually, think what he's gone around the world and seen and done. He brings a lot of those experiences probably to his.
I can believe that, but I also think as a guy who, if you watch his interviews, read his book or anything, he comes off as a guy who leads from example. His father was military. I don't think he, believe it or not, I don't think he speaks very loudly. I don't think he's a yeller. I think he's speaks. My favorite president all time, historical figure would be Teddy Roosevelt. Speaks softly.
When you're that large, you really don't need to raise your voice that much.
No.
Look at you.
Well, you've met me, and I'm not a super loud guy. I'm like, I'm very.
Listen, every teddy bear can be woken up, though.
Was he with us when that fucking idiot was following us that one day? No, that was CMD.
I was gonna say.
So we went to our favorite steakhouse, Gerard, Cattleman's in the Stockyards, and this fucking panhandler piece of shit was trying to follow us, and you could tell what he was going to try to do. So I had her step in front of me. I don't have to say a word. If you are about that, just be about that.
Well, listen, the only thing I remember when I was driving is that you forgot how to drive.
Oh, whatever. I was tired. Fuck you. I only missed like 6 stops.
The whole directions. But, speaking of missing directions, what I've seen on and heard of, some people have gotten better because of, like I told you, the tours, and some people still haven't gotten it on the house shows. And I was told last night, the one person that still ain't getting it, no matter how good she looks,
Jade Cargill,
still not getting it. Been with the company over 2 years now and still ain't getting it. Why?
That's the thing. She doesn't understand. She's in the same position that Paul White, known as the Big Show, was all those years ago. He was in a company, much like, okay, so AEW, I would say AEW is the WCW of this generation. And you bring this giant Glamazonian woman in, and she'd wreck shop because she's there with professionals who've been doing it for years and know how to make someone like that look beautiful. They know how to take care of somebody, and they know how to feed her the spots that are not only going to make them look good, but make her look good. But then you come to the land of the giants. You come to WCW or WWE, where she is not. She's not the big fish in a small pond. She's a big fucking fish in a big fucking ocean. And they're not going to take her bullshit because everybody, let's be honest, even if we have guaranteed contracts, they want that spot. They want to be that attraction. And because of that, she's floundering. She doesn't know how to wrestle big.
You know what the problem with her, Dan, and I think you agree with this? From the curtain to the ring, I don't see anybody who's like her. But when she gets into the ring, she's probably one of the lowest 3 wrestlers on the roster.
Is that a good thing? What did we do?
The wife is hearting you out of hell. Oh. And that's the sad part. From the curtain to the time she's in that ring, just before the bell rings, there's nobody that looks like her.
No, Jade Cargill is by far. And I've said it to you before, Randy Orton, if you're building the body and figure of the perfect specimen for wrestling, the perfect look, the perfect character, you go back to young Randy Orton to now Randy Orton. He has aged perfectly as a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler, walks like a wrestler, carries himself in every form as a wrestler. But when he gets in the ring, he's A1. He's top shelf.
You know what's funny about Randy Orton? He weighs the exact same as Brock Lesnar.
But he's distributed. He's just distributed.
That's the thing. Look at the way the way the body's just stretched out.
Well, are we saying something that's making her happy? Because I usually piss her off unless I bring in the hero of the Mexican people. But before we get into Randy Orton, I do want to go back to Jade. Because if you look at Jade, every intangible, she has a voice that can sell. She has a look that's incredible. Her physique,
her line alone,
that bitch.
That's it.
But she can't do shit. Hell, even in her promos are better.
Yep.
She just can't do it between those fucking 4 posts.
So how long do you give her?
I would be done. My investment in her would have been done. I give her to WrestleMania. She needs to drop the belt to fucking Bianca Belair. That's how.
All I'm going to say is, if you made her a full-blown old school heel that just does squash matches,
but that's just covering up her fucking weaknesses, right? That's giving her the Goldberg treatment. And look what the fuck.
And I understand that, but I'm just saying is though, if you let her come out and just be that bitch, where she just gets in the ring and does squash match after squash match, you know what that does?
Makes a monster.
It makes her a monster. So when she finally does get knocked down, now she comes in, now she wants to come after it even harder, which maybe the caliber of the work in the ring gets better. A la what we saw Friday night with Julia.
Oh, fuck it. Julia, okay. When we get to that, I want to finish this Jade Cargill spot. Personally, I say she goes to WrestleMania. She drops the belt to Bianca. You give her 6 months. You say, if you don't get it together, we're dropping you. That's it.
Because remember, if she has a 3-year contract, 6 months will be September.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm done with the Jade. I was happy to see her come over. I am not happy anymore because, again, and
she can't be, put it this way, in AEW she was disguised because why? She had those job matches.
Well, not just that, but she had wrestlers who understood the mechanics, and they gave her that leeway. They were telling her spots, in my opinion. They were showing her, and she had a lot of backup there in a Cody and people that were in upper management who just loved her. She's come over here, and going back,
take away her physique. Take away her physique.
She can talk. She can talk. She can still talk. I give her that.
Take away the physique part of it. What makes her special other than her physique? What makes her special?
It goes back. Go back to the Nia thing where Nia busted her face open on that stair thing. I know that I believe Tripp said it the other day when we talked about it. Part of that's fucking Jade's fault.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Other than her look, there's nothing that makes her special. And I'll give you a perfect example. The only difference between her look and Charlotte Flair's look, Charlotte Flair can at least back up her look in the ring.
Well, Charlotte's absolutely great, better in the ring. And look how far Charlotte's come since coming back, going through that fucking, let's just call it what it was, a breakdown, losing everything. Now we're seeing more Ashley Fleer than we've ever seen before. And motherfucker, I love it. I love this.
Do you know what she's reminding me of right now? She reminds me right now of when we first had Brock come back and he's dancing with the money in the bank.
Yes.
That's the Charlotte.
She's happy. See, and then go back to Brock.
Being herself is what it looks like she's being.
Go back to Brock back then, right? Go back to when Brock came back and they finally let they stopped making him be the next big thing. They stopped making him have to be that fucker who came back from MMA. He's a multi-time MMA champion. He's blah, blah, blah. No.
They let him be him.
They let Brock be a good old fucking Brock. And so when he had the fucking boombox briefcase, it was beautiful. What he is now as the fucking cowboy Viking.
When he slipped and fell and he got up and he already his pants.
Yeah. He laughed.
It's Brock. He's a big old goofy country boy.
But he'll whoop your ass.
Correct. And you know what? Charlotte Flair, I think Ashley Flair is the one we're seeing with just Charlotte Flair on the
I think Ashley Fleer is beautiful. I think she's doing wonderful. I'm happy to see her in the space, and a lot of that goes back to someone like Alexa Bliss, who agreed to work with her and take her on this journey together. They are legitimate friends.
It's called Loosen Her Up.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Can you say that all the personal things that going on in her life, she needed this loosening up? Absolutely,
100%. Because, and again, she's already said she has no ill will towards Andrade. And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for her. It didn't work out. She's 40 or something years old, and she's upset because she made decisions, right? Let's call it what it is. You've talked about it before. There are female wrestlers that, they have kids, they do this, they do whatever, but they make those decisions to make that. She made the ultimate sacrifice. And the decision she's made to make her a top star, and let's just be honest, very wealthy, have cost her something that she wanted. And she's seeing people around her have children and that's probably hitting her in the gut. Opinion. That's just.
Well, here's the thing about that. I hope you understand this as a guy, because I understand as a guy. We're cold-hearted, emotionless bastards. So, and if I'm wrong, you can let me know, Trips. Cold-hearted, emotionless.
I think you got it pretty accurate.
Huh?
I think you got
I'm good to you.
No, what I was going to say is, so take what's gone on with her and flip it onto a guy in professional sports. What the guy would probably say is, "I'll find another one of her tomorrow."
I don't think that's him though. I think
no. I'm just saying is a fact of 99% of guys. I'll find another her tomorrow. It's not a big deal.
Well, they will, but they also can do it until they're 95 years old. We have a very small window as women to do that. So for a male wrestler,
would you guys say,
family life aside, to build his career is not as big of a deal because he can come back to it 15 years later. The women cannot.
Would you say Ashley right now would be the female John Cena?
I think she's well on her way.
Yeah.
No, what I mean by that is how John, for years, didn't want to be married and stuff like that. I never want to have kids and stuff like that. I think Ashley's just
I think that she made that decision that she didn't want to, and then I think now she's regretting that decision. Where John, and when he came, like when he went on the Bella show and the Total Divas shit, they made him out to be this weirdo and whatnot. When he actually sat down with an interviewer and who had the balls to ask him the question, he said, "I made an adult decision because I would never be able to give my child the attention they need or deserve." And to be fair, in some regard, with him being the face of the company, he is John Cena, right? Let's just call it what it is. John Cena has been John Cena for all these years. He's right. To be Ric Flair and look at Ric Flair's children, and I'm not knocking Ric Flair, so if Ric Flair's out there and he finds out, I don't get cussed out on Twitter, but Ric Flair, his children are very fucking screwed up mentally and emotionally.
I'm glad you just said that about him. And I would say like this. Hey, Rick, if you ever watch something like that, I would say this. Your talents in the ring never crossed over to being a dad. If you could have taken your talents in the ring and moved those talents as a father, you'd be a better man today.
But again, I'm not his kid. I can't criticize him. I'm just saying, an opinion wise, if you see what his kids have said, especially fucking his oldest. He's not been happy. He's made it very clear about things like that. And this program is not here to criticize anybody's parentage, but there's a lot of things to be said about not being a good father. Say what you want, but we're going to move on to somebody else who was an excellent father, whose son is in the business, who has the potential to be the next world champion, who has been killing it. I think his promos need a little work, but he has every intangible to be great, and that's fucking Braun Breaker. I mean,
Monday night, that promo with him and CM Punk. Do you think CM Punk got caught off guard by how well Braun Breaker delivered his?
I think that's a possibility. I think that's very much a possibility. I think that I think Punk didn't also see it whenever, because again, he hit him hard with his Steiner math comment and how stupid his fucking uncle and his dad are. And then when he hit him with some heat on that spear that night and said, "You're right. I should have brought up your wife. You ever bring up my family again, I'll rip you in half."
But my thing about this is this. His lasting power, because unfortunately his father and his uncle weren't exactly known for not getting hurt because of how much they put in. Now, he's a wrecking ball in the ring. We've seen wrecking balls. How often do they stay healthy?
Okay, well, my argument to that is it's 2026. Officially, it's 2026. Sports medicine has come a long way, and you're looking at two guys, and Rick and Scott, that may have abused some stuff here and there. And
my thing about it is, though, when these guys get hurt nowadays, when the father and the uncle were going through this, they'd be back to work in a month.
Yeah.
Not because they wanted to be, but because of that extracurricular stuff they could put into their bodies.
I think that Braun is clean. I think Braun goes out there.
I'm saying, never mind being clean. I'm saying is, though, these guys now, when they get hurt, they're actually out with the injury now.
Well, not just that, but there's so many ways to heal now. Like cryotherapy is a thing. Things that, there's different avenues to go down. And WWE is making long-term investments in these guys. I think Braun Breaker legitimately is. They're not making the mistakes they did with Roman, right? With Roman, they forced him down your throat. They forced him to be the fucking babyface. Suffering succotash was a thing. And with Braun, I'm not a big fan of the uncontrollable badass or whatever the fuck they call him. I don't like that little shtick, but I wish he would have been back to being Rex Steiner. I love that name. But he's taking his father's gimmick and his uncle's gimmick, and Scott's made jokes about it. Yeah, just go out there and keep doing my shit. You'll get over fine. And I think he's really running with it, no pun intended, because he does a spear, but he's really fucking just doing an amazing job as a showman, as a heel.
I think right now, Braun Breaker's worst enemy could end up being Braun Breaker.
I disagree right now. Right now, I disagree because I think he's got the right people in his ear. He's got Paul.
I'm saying, as long as he doesn't get injured, he's fine.
Again, but you can tell he's not. Okay, so when you take steroids, right? No joke.
I'm not talking about the steroid part of it.
No, but
because how he's built in his matches, when he gets injured, if he gets injured, it's going to be a severe injury because of.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's not? Because I feel like he's taking care of himself. Look at him in the ring and the pacing of how he does his match, right?
He knows how to take care of himself, but there's always the one guy on the other end of that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this: look at the pacing of his matches. Watch any Braun Breaker match. Starts out a little slow.
Yep.
Then he warms up, and by the end of it, he's out working these guys. You can see he blows up some of these guys in the ring because he gets faster as he goes. I'm not saying he's a slow starter. What I'm saying is he paces himself and he's explosive when he needs to be explosive. Now, you look at someone like Scotty back in the day. He was doing fucking every move in the world, but he's jacked to the fucking gills. And when you're on steroids, you're pushing the gas.
5 minutes.
Exactly. Braun is not as big as Scotty was, but he's more athletic than either brother was. And he's really putting into work. You can tell Braun is really fucking killing it.
I think he has the work ethic more of his dad than his uncle.
Oh, 100%. But he has the personality. It's weird. It's a weird fucking combination because you have the work ethic of your father, dog-faced gremlin. No one can deny that Rick Steiner was the workhorse of that group.
But he cuts promos like his uncle.
Yes.
And, it's one of those things to where do those two at one time gonna crash with each other and clash? To where it's gonna that's what I'm saying. Could he end up being his own worst enemy because he has those two personalities in one, to where one starts overtaking the other? Now, mind you, I understand he's young. He might not ever get there. It happened with Randy Orton, where he had that, and he allowed the bad part to take more.
Okay, but again, back then it was dog eat dog. Remember, back then they were like, everybody was trying to fucking, they want your spot, and he was preordained to be the chosen one. I know we had a Drew McIntyre gimmick, the chosen one. No, Randy was the original fucking chosen fucking child. He was supposed to be.
What do you think? Is Braun with Heyman doing Braun a disservice right now?
No. I think Braun.
Rollins comes back.
I think Heyman has been because look, let's be honest, Heyman has been put with some people that just didn't work. I love Antonio Cesaro at the time. He's also known as Claudio Castagnoli. Him and Heyman did not work. I didn't like Heidenreich. The fucking basically he was a Nazi character. Him and fucking Heyman didn't work. It's not Heyman's fault if you're just not that guy. Ron Breakker is that guy.
Oh, listen, there's some people that can screw up with or without being with a manager, without a manager.
Yeah.
So, like I say, can Braun Breaker be
100%, Leland? 100%. But he's not a fool, and he's taking advantage of it. And I'm gonna look. I kind of want to transfer to this next person because, and I'll put him in the thumbnail for a reason because I do want to talk about this. I don't get the hype. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a brown thing. It's not anything. He just doesn't do it for me. And that is Trick Williams. I don't like Trick Williams. I think Carmelo Hayes, I mean, what an athlete, what a star. If anything that holds him back is his height, I don't get the fucking hype.
Here's my question for you, Dan. Is Trick Williams a copy of the guy that used to be in WWE, but they cut him? Swerve Strickland. Okay. So they used to have.
Turn it down. No, we can't play that, Jacob. We can't. They're gonna hit the video. What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry.
My question. That would be my
question.
Didn't
work out. My camera's kind of fucked up. Sorry.
So you're playing Trick Williams songs. I'm taking it you like Trick.
No, what I'm saying is Trick Williams the copycat of Swerve Strickland that they used to have, and they let him get away.
Here's the difference between Trick and Swerve, and I'll as plain as day. Trick, I think he's mediocre in the ring, and for me, in my opinion, I think he has passe fucking mic skills. Swerve Strickland can do anything you ask him in that ring. When you want to get techno, he can techno. You want to get high flying, he can get high flying. You want him to get fucking hardcore, the man will.
That's what I'm saying. So do you think they know they made the mistake of letting go of Swerve, and they're trying to copy it with Trick?
But it's not a copy. Swerve Strickland is just that guy. He has the charisma. He has the pull. He is that guy. Where Trick Williams is. If you really want to get serious, I think Trick Williams is the Wish version of fucking Swerve Strickland. If you're going that route, what do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ear rape everyone on that. I mean, because I was trying to do a little Trick Williams entrance, did not work. But yeah, I mean, Dan's absolutely right with this. Now, I'm not going to say, because honestly, with Trick Williams and Swerve Strickland, like they're really not the same character in the slightest, and they're really nothing alike in that sense. The only comparison I could really draw is that they're both, black men who are eccentric in that regard. You know what I mean? So, but with Trick, he automatically got over with Booker T, doing the ad libs and the whoop that Trick chant. Now Swerve was on the indies for years. I remember like back when I was a fan of CZW really young. And
Jacob, I got trips by I told her how much I like Swerve, and I told her because and you might remember this, Gerard. Swerve used to come out to Shaka Khan.
Yep. Well, and honestly, the coolest, and I was really happy when I think this was in Texas when they did this, when Swerve came out he didn't come out to the song fully, which I think he should have done. But JoJo, Bray Wyatt's wife, sung Shaka Khan out there, and that
Ain't nobody.
It was fucking beautiful.
Oh my God.
It was fucking beautiful.
Listen, you would have to see the original movie Breaking to understand that song. Now, I'm going to show my age.
Makes me feel this way.
Okay.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, again, Swerve's new theme song is great. I don't know why.
I missed the other one. I missed Swerve.
I missed the other one too. Trust me. I'll send it to Trip one of these days. But
is that a new mic?
When I went to AEW.
Is that a new mic?
No, it's just a new little mic thing. I designed it myself,
You dropped it in acid by accident. Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I just kind of a little dip. No, but I'll send it to Trips because I have a video of when Swerve came out when I was at AEW in Arizona. See, I've gone to AEW live twice. So again, I'm not an asshole. I've been to AEW live, and when Swerve came out, man, he was the most over person on the show.
Was this pre or post Nana?
Oh no, this was during Nana. This was this was during his chase for the title.
So again, that's another thing.
My mic too loud, by the way.
Oh, you're good. You're perfect. It sounds wonderful. Good. I would also add to Jacob's credit, one of the things that they've done in AEW that's really made Swerve look fantastic. Prince Nana coming out with him, it's given a new life to Prince Nana, because remember, Prince Nana was like floundering in the embassy. Then they put the mobile.
And again, I hate to be this guy, because there's always Tony Khan's an indie shindy mark, and I'm kind of always on that. He makes obscure references.
You're an indie shindy mark, though.
But I'm also an indie shindy mark myself. See, this is where, because you can bring up the embassy. No one outside of me and you, Dan, is going to know what the fuck the embassy is. You know what I mean? We know there's a history to the embassy.
Just so you know, if you watch this Wednesday, Wednesday night show might actually take a very bad direction just Wednesday.
Why?
Well, and
because he had a football game to prepare for next. His team is in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years.
No Broncos, man. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, brother.
Fucking Sloppy was in the chat saying Broncos too.
Fuck yeah.
But because Jacksonville finally made it back to the playoffs, so in him being the team president or whatever like that, he's going to have other things on his mind.
Leland said a comment, and I absolutely I agree with that. I agree that they're going to turn.
Let me ask you a question. And just to throw it out there, is it a color thing?
No, I don't think that's it. Well, maybe.
No, I think I'm.
Yes,
I'm
Leland.
honest,
Yes,
I'm,
they are.
No, Joe stopping right there. Wait, can he be blocked?
No.
I'm glad. I don't think it's a color thing, but I'm glad we're getting more colored stars on the roster.
Well, 100%. I'm glad, but this is my problem with that. I don't think Trick is the guy. I don't, and they're gonna. I feel
He's
like
not the guy.
They're gonna make the mistake, and they're gonna try to push him down our throats like they did with fucking Roman Reigns and John Cena, and I don't want to see that.
You're not mentioning Is there a Yeet Man in there?
The Yeet Man.
Yeah. How long before he gets in the ring with Lash Legend?
He's not going to wrestle his wife.
No, listen. Okay, if they go that route, though, if they go the route with Lash Legend and him, not necessarily.
He better always wear those fucking heels because she's going to tower over as the last.
No, what I'm saying is to put them together.
Put them together, but don't put them together constantly. Have them be in their if they go that route, have them do their own shit.
Because I think she could be better than him, though.
Oh, 100%.
100%. That's
okay, but again, you've not seen. Okay, so the reason why I think that it's like that is because you're not going to see people women like Lash Legend. She's one of a kind, and again. When I've talked about War Games, she was the one who stole the show for me. She just came out there and looked the part, and they did their job perfectly, having her be the last entrant. You let Nia Jax come out there looking like a creamsicle, and then you look at fucking Lash Legend.
You mean Buzz Lightyear?
Whatever. She looked like whatever.
Lightyear. Hey, no, can we? I'll give. Hey, man, can we talk about Nia Jax?
That's where. So Jacob got that jersey, but people don't know about this. The reason why he was late is because that jersey he got was one of the legs of Nia Jax's singlet, and he converted it into a jersey.
No, this is a one of a kind Flint Tropics.
I'm just kidding.
This is a downtown Funky Stuff Malone jersey.
What I do want to say is, like, Nia Jax, and I told her the other day, looks great. Like she's starting to slim down. She is really putting in the work. Good for her. That, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Do that one more time, Jacob. That is the second and first ever you've ever gotten from Jacob McGovern on Nia Jax.
Well, listen, I've done Nia Jax at least like to talk about, because one of his won a title on Wednesday night. And by the way, Jacob, we've already said our condolences to Chelsea Green. So, but
okay, listen. I mean, she got beat by Julia though, so it's like if you're gonna take away my tiramisu and you're giving me a red velvet cake, all right,
because by Willow Nightingale winning the title from
Faithful,
CEO.
But I mean, can I just say this right now? They need to. If AEW had any sense in the world, they would market their whole women's division around Willow Nightingale. Just saying, she is
okay. So can I put this out? Who called it? Who called that Mercedes Moné was going to lose? She wasn't going to beat Statlander, and that she was going to start dropping those belts. Who's the one who said that they're going to play the storyline out where she was at the top? And she was Monet money. She was getting all the belts, and now she's slowly losing everything.
You know what I got?
I always gave Mercedes the credit because she busted her ass, and I really think that she really, and she deserved all 20 belts that she.
You gotta be out of your Hey, so one of the things that did get me about Wednesday night, though, when I was watching, is that they allowed Danny Garcia to kick Toni Storm dead in her face. And one of the things about that is, if this happens in a WWE show, all these internet trolls and stuff like that, they're trying to go after WWE for allowing a man to kick a woman in her face. How come you don't ever see the same backlash when AEW does it?
You're the only one giving that backlash right now. You're the only one who cares. That's a grown-ass woman. That is a full grown-ass woman. That is an adult grown-ass full woman.
Listen, when Rhea Ripley was going through this thing with Dom, they were very careful not to have these two fight.
Yeah, because Rhea Ripley would have beat his little ass.
Well, I'm such a big fan of Chelsea Green, but I guarantee Chelsea Green would have done that spot. So
I want to say this, Leland. So this is what my belief is. She's going to lose every belt, and then she's going to end up winning the Casino Battle Royal, and she's going to challenge, and she's going to, whoever's the champion, which I think is probably going to be Stat, she's going to say, you couldn't beat me. And they're going to do that. And it's going to they're going to play off the fact that Mercedes has lost everything. It's the first time back, and that's when she's going to win the belt. They're trying, I think, to rehash her fucking, her popularity. They're trying everything to rehabilitate her as a good guy. I think they're going to go that route. I think that they're going to see a face turn on Mercedes whenever she loses all the belts.
You know what? She's still going to be the same person to me. I don't give a crap if she makes a face turn or not. She's going to be the same person.
I agree. That's not going to change anything. She's worthless. Well, she has 20 belts or 0 belts. She's unlikable and untalented.
Right.
You had to agree with it. I'm saying that's what's going to happen.
I mean, it's 100%. I mean, Trips just said the gospel. I mean, it should be written in stone. What Trips
China was a different kind of human being.
Oh, but see, Gerard was okay with them punching Jody Lawler in the face all day.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Hold on, no. They stayed away from her face. Everything else was a fair game.
Okay, so you're fine if they punched her in the tit. They're good with that.
Listen, if Toni Storm had him, yeah. But
not much to punch with Toni Storm.
But I'm just saying, if they smacked her in her ass, that's one thing.
Hey,
Gerard got silent.
Gerard got clipped.
But I'm just saying the fact of, I have never agreed with it in any way, shape, or form, unless you can show me that the woman.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room, please?
Who are you calling an elephant?
Oh,
I got demoted?
No. So,
but
we
he
all
got
know.
lose
Hold
this
on.
square.
We all know this is scripted, correct? Like we
Yes.
remember that we watch it, we still love it, but it's scripted.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Wait a minute, you're telling me it's not real?
This will be the last episode of the Marks podcast. But no, like it's scripted, so it's okay. It's nothing. They're professionals, and you can't.
Hey, most of them claim to be.
And as professionals, whenever people would talk shit about fucking Nyla Rose being in the fucking women's division, it's a fucking scripted show, motherfucker. And I would say more credit to Nyla Rose because she was able to.
At least Tyler Rex ain't coming back.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
But even if
Hey,
Tyler
listen. I mean, say what you want. That'd be a cool story if she did.
Only if Chuck Palumbo came back though.
Hey man, you will remember my.
Yeah, that fucking motorcycle gimmick was fucking trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember.
He made some really nice bikes. He really did make some nice bikes, but he
was 6 years old when Chuck Palumbo debuted.
Wait,
when he debuted on SmackDown, when he
re-debuted. But before that, he was "You Look So."
Yeah, Billy and Chuck.
Billy and Chucky.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God! Listen, okay. Don't make me start going back to adorable Adrian.
I've been muted.
You've been muted.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Muted. So, speaking of that, speaking of dangers in the ring, Mr. War Games has come out, and Gerard brought this to my attention. Sir William Regal, I don't know if he's a fucking sir, on Twitter, brought up the union again. And I'm going to let Gerard take us into this one.
Well, what had happened was William Regal was talking about two Japanese wrestlers who have injuries and they're looking for basically handouts. But what they're looking for is people to give donations and not try and write it off as a tax deduction. This is what William Regal's talking about. And my thing about that is, when you're somebody with the stature of William Regal, instead of pushing for fans not to take the tax reductions for giving money away to wrestlers who are begging for people's money, push for the union. Now, listen, medical care, a pension, and stuff like that. Every wrestler can negotiate their own.
Here's for bonus points, Gerard. What was the name of Mick Foley's union with the Big Show and Ken Shamrock?
Oh my God!
Do you not remember?
Oh no!
It was a union of people you ought to respect, son. Up yours. All right, continue.
Oh, but I'm just saying the fact of in the four major sports, and if WWE is going to build themselves as a major sport because of
they are on ESPN,
yeah, with on ESPN and stuff like that, then in Netflix, because they're almost on every channel the NFL is on. Then not just WWE, but AEW and all that get together, say we're going to have a pro wrestling union. You can work for any company you want. You're going to pay into a pension plan. You're going to pay into medical benefits and stuff like that. You have a guy that just came back for the NFL who played 1 month, and him and his family are going to have benefits for 5 years. Played for 1 month, he's going to have benefits for 5 years. Professional wrestlers, the minute they're done with their service to whatever company they're doing.
You're right. And then the Cauliflower Alley Club does not fucking cover all that shit. They do the best they can to help. But at the end of the day, you're right. And I agree with you. And I'm with you. There should be a fucking union. Now, if I was what I was before and I was a fucking shield for WWE like you once were or still are, then, yeah, I would be arguing, well, the company does this, this, and this. The company takes it out of this. They get more money on their. I don't give a fuck. There should be a wrestlers union that takes care of these people. Well, you have it in baseball. You have it in basketball. You have it in football. You have it in fucking hockey.
Yep.
Why not?
And put it this way, some of these guys, I can even bring up OJ, got $25,000 a year. Or $25,000 a month from the NFL every month that he was retired.
Is that what he used to hide the murder weapon and pay Johnny Cochran?
But I'm just saying the fact of that's $260,000 a year. Some of these guys let's just say you cut that in half, $130,000 a year, but they can still have their medical coverage. So let's just say you have a 5-year medical coverage after you get out of the ring, because
okay, here's my argument for it, and this is the best argument I can come up with as to why there needs to be a union. All the major sports, football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Let's go with those major American sports, right? You're not going in there to hurt yourself or your opponent. You're going in there to win a game.
Win.
Okay.
Period.
You may get injured playing the game. Okay. You're playing a game to entertain people. You're playing a sport to be competitive and be the best. And accidents happen. But in reality of it, you're not going into play to get hurt. Okay? Counter to that, professional wrestling. You are falling down for a living. You're jumping off things you should probably not jump off of to entertain fans for a living. You are hurting and wrecking your body every single night you perform for a living.
Every stuntman in Hollywood has
and that's what I'm getting at. So whether
and that's why, like, I've been rewatching. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to say that this isn't a sport and there shouldn't be a union, fine. I accept that. I'm out. You know what? I'll put my sword down and I'll accept that. Then fuck you. SAG needs to step in, because technically these are fucking entertainers. These are actors that are paid to entertain people, and they get billions of dollars. It's a $1 billion industry that is sadly treating its performers like shit.
And how many wrestlers are members of SAG where they get that taken care of?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
Well, and it's just like, and Dan kind of really took the words out of my mouth, because like if they're not paying if they're not going to have a union, if they're not going to have, something, like that, then they should, every wrestler should sign with SAG. And like, that's kind of what Freddie Prinze Jr. was like. That's kind of what he said his hurdles was, because if he's going to start a wrestling promotion, he wants all of his wrestlers to be signed with SAG. So that's kind of where he's at with that.
And if we're going to go down, if we're going to go with that, Jacob, let's push it a little bit further and say that you're going to say that this is an entertainment product, right? Vince McMahon famously said it is the longest running program on network television. It is a program on network television. We tell stories. Then I think that wrestling should be up for Grammys. I'm sorry, Oscars.
Yeah.
And Emmys.
Yeah, and Emmys. Yeah, no, Emmys, Golden
Daytime Awards.
Well, and honestly, Paul Heyman said in an Ariel Helwani interview that he just did recently, he's like, the fact that Roman Reigns wasn't like nominated for his portrayal of the tribal chief, I wouldn't give that example specifically, but like, he was right in that sense, because it's true. Like, these are real, like, but then it also becomes a slippery slope, because then people be like, oh, wrestling's fake, then
I would to Leland's point, I would even argue that I think they should be footing those bills. You wouldn't have issues like with people like Sabu who died clearly in pain. But what I would say is, even if you want to go down and if you're still getting coverage from that company, you should not have the right to say the horrible things you do. If they're going to cover your medical, they're going to do all that. Okay, then you're going to sign an NDA. I think it's a fair trade-off.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much. Well, and what I was getting at, like, really, like, and I really just think, because there's been a Tough Enough, like, they've done revivals of stuff like that, but I really think, like, they should really show just like show like what a trainee has to go through just running the ropes. Because back in the old school Tough Enough, man, they showed like the bruises and the fucking like the.
You can show that, Jacob.
Jacob, look at Dan. Dan will tell you he took one bump. One. He's like, I'm done.
And I'm telling you, Jacob, you can do that. You can do that. You can show these people. They'll never understand what it feels like. And again, me and Gerard have talked about it. It is fucking 1 inch of plywood to 2 inches of fucking foam mat.
Yeah.
And you hit your back on that. I'm telling you, to this day, I have back problems. It sucks. Like right now, I've been going through it. She'll tell you it is not, you don't feel old until you're brushing your teeth, you turn the wrong way, and all of a sudden you're out for a fucking week because that shit hurts. Imagine taking your body and inflicting that and knowing that everybody has a button they can push. Like a professional boxer, right? A professional boxer can only take so much damage. You can get knocked out so many times, and then you're Glass Joe, and there's nothing more you can do about it. A wrestler in the same realm has the same thing. We have Adam Cole, who's, again, I'm not the biggest Adam Cole fan, but I'm sad for him because he can't do the thing he loves probably ever again.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
me and you, and Jacob, you don't understand. Me and you, Dan, and Jacob, hopefully one day, we get injured at work, we get a thing called workman's comp. Okay?
Workman's constipation.
Where we get a portion of our salary to be out of work. These guys get as long as they got injured on the job, they get their downside of their salary. They don't get the upside. The four other sports, except for baseball, which baseball you get your 100% salary as long no matter what. And that's why I say you retire from the business, you should be covered for 5 years after you retire. So that way, if any of these nagging injuries that you see these guys retire with, because it's sad to look at somebody like an Adam Cole who might not ever wrestle again because of concussions. That is the medical bill's going to still be being paid by Tony Khan.
Let me ask you this though.
Tony Khan's way too much of a mark. Of course, he's paying that bill. He's paying that bill to the end of his Adam Cole's days.
Let me ask you this though.
Allegedly.
Do you then look at each wrestler individually and decide if they fit the body type to be in your company, to be on that insurance? Because look, you're trying to get life insurance.
In my thing is saying when I said the union part would cover medical, pension, stuff like that. Okay.
What I'm saying is
every wrestler would be able to negotiate their own contract.
What I'm saying is Adam Cole is a smaller wrestler.
Yep.
He was more likely to be injured because he was such a smaller wrestler, right?
Well, and Kyle Fletcher threw him on his fucking head on the apron.
Well, if you want to go that route, then let's say Bill Goldberg should have never been in the ring with Bret Hart.
No. Bill Goldberg should have been in the ring with anybody, though.
Okay, I'm saying the fact of
not because he was a bigger guy, because he was a fucking moron.
And that's what I'm saying to you is, do you start to say, hey, we can't have you go in the ring with this guy because he's much bigger than you, so now you got to cut your work philosophy out because
Well, speaking of, we were talking about Mercedes earlier. I mean, think about with
I got demoted this time
with Paige / Saraya. Think about that.
And that's the thing. I don't fault Mercedes for that. It was an in-ring move. I don't think she botched it. She just took it wrong. No different than Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd, excellent performer in the ring. Samoa Joe has done the muscle buster at least 5,000 times. Never hurt anyone. But Tyson landed the fucking 99.9% people wouldn't have landed that way. He happened too. Same with Draws, right? D'Lo Brown, complete accident. To the end of his days, D'Lo Brown has loved Draws, taken care, done everything he can for Draws. It was a freak fucking accident. I don't fault that. When you're talking about Bill Goldberg, I'm going to get passionate talking about Bill Goldberg. You have the excellence of execution. You have Bret Hart, who has never, in his 20-plus years of being a professional wrestler, hurt anybody. If anything, he should have been having hazard pay wrestling somebody who was on fucking crack the night before in Wembley fucking Stadium, and his own fucking brother-in-law, that fucker, he carried him through a match. He carried guys like fucking Yokozuna, and I love Yokozuna, but he was way too big, and he could have fucking hurt somebody. Never did, thank God. He was always put at a fucking detriment, never hurt anyone. And then you put him in there, and the last thing he tells Bill is, "Don't hurt me, Bill." And what does that fucker do? Does Bill need to be throwing fucking full speed super kicks in the ring? Fuck no. His moves: spear, jackknife, run real hard, knocks one down. You big fucking goof. But no, I want to throw a kick. I do not like Bill Goldberg because it's one thing to fucking hurt somebody. It's another thing to not learn from your fucking mistakes. Let's go back to Saudi Arabia. He almost fucking paralyzed The Undertaker. And you can see on the look on fucking Mark Calloway's face when he's like, this fucking idiot.
I'm glad we talked about this because, Jacob, hold on, if you don't mind. I'm watching this documentary the other day, and they're talking about the mass transit incident. Now, Jacob, I don't know if you even know what the mass transit incident was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
New Jack.
And he was describing the fact of New Jack was saying that this kid came in and started dictating to New Jack.
Exactly, Leland. That's beautiful.
How the kid wanted the match to go. And New Jack's like, who the frick is this kid telling me how this match is going to go? In my time around wrestling, the one thing I've always heard the new guy, the young guy go up to the veteran and say is this: what do you want to do? And lets the veteran guy dictate how the match, what they want to do in the match and stuff like that. So where the new guy, whatever you want to do is good with me. And a lot of times the veteran will say that. When the guy who has the more ring experience dictates how the match flows, this kind of stuff will not happen. But you had a guy who's in the business for 3 years telling a guy who's in the business for 20 as a professional. Let's not count how long he actually spent in the dungeon. Being told what a 3-year guy wanted to do. We saw the result. Today, in 2026, do we have that problem anymore?
No, I would say no, because we have agents that pretty much run the matches, and now you just got to fucking connect the dots.
Listen, we could all say that the incident with Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, when Brock almost killed himself doing a shooting star press.
I don't think that was anybody's fault. I think Brock made a decision, and he's too damn big to be jumping up the fucking rope. Not to say that he couldn't do it, because he can, but he's looked at that. He wanted to do something spectacular. Great. That's wonderful.
I don't know, like, was Kurt too far away, or did
absolutely, and that was a problem. If he wasn't, Brock could have done the move. That's not. He did it in fucking OVW plenty of times. It wasn't that. It was that the distance was too far. Had Kurt been under, kind of like you'll see now. You'll see someone like I always talk about her because she's wonderful. You'll see Io Shirai. You'll see Io. You'll see even on Friday you had Rhea Ripley hit her with a fucking riptide, dropped her. You see fucking Kyrie slide her little ass over there to the side, just so because she knows exactly where to be for fucking Io to hit that fucking move.
I'll give you a perfect one. If you ever watched when the Ultimate Warrior beat Honky Tonk Man, how Honky Tonk Man actually turns his body so Warrior could do the splash perfectly on him. Okay? Because professional guys know the timing and they know where they need to be.
And again, it would not have looked right.
Today, you don't see that.
So I don't blame Kurt, because Kurt can't roll over there and look like a fucking moron and roll over there to just take the fucking shooting star. I don't blame Brock. I think Brock, got a little bit fucking overzealous. But if somebody would have just said, "Hey, I'm gonna drag your body over here. I'm gonna put you in position," that would have. Was it a spectacular moment? 100%. Is he a freak of nature? And had he not had the fucking muscle of a fucking prime bull around his neck? Fuck, I don't know. But it could have been horrendous. It could have been. It could have been the worst thing that's ever happened.
We almost had that happen last week too. In AEW, it almost happened at the pay-per-view last week. Another guy got dropped on his neck. I mean, there was a 5-star match.
It happens way too much in AEW to the point.
Okay, and that's one thing I can't believe, but I'll agree with y'all. The issues that I have with AEW, I think the wrestling, the pure fucking wrestling there is excellent. They take these risks that just
unnecessary.
Yes, and if they would focus on the beautiful things they have there, if you watch Swerve Strickland in the ring, it is like watching a work of art. The man knows placement. He knows exactly where to be. It's not just the way he talks. It's the way he is in the ring. Oh God, I can't stand it. But the Young Bucks, they understand placement in the ring. I just don't agree with the stupid shit. And this is why Darby Allin will always be on my list of people. The boy jumped off a fucking thing into glass. His back was shredded.
He's winning the belt this year, though, right?
I hope not. God, please no.
You know damn well that's happening, though, right? Like he's gonna.
I don't dislike. I like that I like. If you look at Darby Allin as a person, right? I love his attitude. I love the idea that if you believe hard enough, you can do anything. But you know what? I liked Marco Stunt too. He didn't deserve to wear a fucking world heavyweight title. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Marco Stunt was he was a very little guy, part of Jurassic Express years ago.
Selling cars now.
He's selling cars now.
So to your point about William Regal, I wanted to put something up on the screen. So last week, I think it was last week, he tweeted about neck injuries, and I guess this is his X-ray when he broke his neck in a car wreck in '97. The point that I found interesting was he said, I broke my neck twice, 93 in the ring and a car wreck in '97, which stupidly I never told anyone. And I was taught properly how to bridge and not land on the top of my head. It's a skill that maybe 99.9% of people don't know or will ever learn anymore. I kept going somehow, but knew all the tricks that, again, people don't learn now and watch film and just copy. After Misawa-san passed from his neck problems, I thought it would stop all this nonsense, but it's gotten worse. And whenever I talk to people about them doing it, it's, quote, well, it doesn't hurt. Believe me, it will. I have people close to me now, Brian being one, who is suffering daily like myself from his neck. It's a daily misery, and sleep and every other aspect of your life is more than hard. Although people use the term tough about me, you'll never hear me say that, as I'm not. I don't think I am, nor have I ever been. Money and whatever nonsense fame is supposed to be is not worth the pain, or supposed to evening glory you get from these ridiculous moves, dropping yourself on your head. The vast majority of fans don't know the difference between a vertical suplex and a brainbuster, and that's a far tamer move than many I see now. I'm 57 and become less relevant every day, but fame has never been my thing. So most of you doing this stupid stuff are not going to listen to me, but hopefully if you do, stop it now if you want a decent quality of life after wrestling, because that part of your life will be over before you know it, and wrestling done right is hard enough, but broken necks or death are not something you should think is tough or cool. It's idiotic thinking.
You know, it's funny. I'm glad you brought it up because last night, not too far from me, once again, the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle was doing a meet and greet. There's a man who's a walking, living proof of what William Regal said.
Again, I'm going back to the AEW thing. I think that there are guys in there that are technically some of the best wrestlers you'll ever see. If you look at someone like Konosuke Takeshita, the motherfucker can go. Will Ospreay, when he's not doing the flippy dippy shit, can fucking go. Switchblade Jay White, it's very, very, very underrated as a technical wrestler.
Hey Dan, we've talked a lot. There's one thing we talked a lot about the guys, our people, our family, our fathers admired growing up that we ended up watching, and we like, wow, how they could get over. And these guys were not the flippy dippy guys. Let's go back to Jake the Snake and Randy. Those are two guys.
I'll go further than that. I want you to go back. I'm talking NWA. I'm talking a guy who had
Ric Flair.
No, I'm not even talking about I'm not talking about Ric Flair. I'm talking about a guy whose career was cut short, not because of something that happened in the ring,
Bruiser Brody,
because his Porsche spun off the road and it shut down the Greensboro Coliseum. He had a mustache, not like mine, but he had a mustache. He had long, curly blonde hair, and man, he looked a lot like Tom Selleck back in the day. Magnum TA as a wrestler, if you watched him and you didn't get inspired like that's I know some of this stuff looks fake. That looks real. And he wasn't flipping off the ropes. He was putting his size fucking 13 boots on and whooping your ass. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. What was the famous line he said? I know my belly's a little big. I know my hind is a little big, but I am bad, and these people know I'm bad. And he was when he would go out there and with those. Oh, even more so. He wore a perm, had a beard, and tattoos on his arm. And his name was Harley fucking Race.
Nikita Koloff.
And Jinder Mahal, he went out there and he said, you will bow down to the modern day Maharaja. And then he told Shinsuke Nakamura, oh, you all look the same.
Nikita Koloff. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah. I'm saying
I was good until he did this.
Yeah.
Jinder, if you're out there, I would love to sit down and have that one-on-one interview.
Right.
Again, he's probably gonna be creeped out because I'm gonna go through Jinder Mahal promos and I'm just gonna be like, yo, how were you feeling during this segment when you were talking to Baron Corbin?
Well, I will say this, and
He's gonna go back to the 3MB.
Hey,
I love. Okay,
don't you dare talk about 3MB.
I'm going to talk something positive about Jinder. in a wrestling world where everybody's done it, seen it, or whatever, he had this finisher, the Colossus. It was a rotating Cobra Clutch slam. I love that move. I don't know what it was, but it was that, because you could be doubled. You could use a Cobra Clutch.
Man, how safe was that?
Oh, excellent! It was
how safe was the camel clutch?
It's a great move. I mean, he won the WWE title with it.
Think about the chicken wing. George Steele, chicken wing.
How
Bob Backlund, sir. The Bob Backlund to the chicken wing. Bob Backlund.
Listen, the Summer of Jinder is one of the greatest runs of WWE of all time. It's a shame that Brock Lesnar was so scared that he didn't want to work with him.
I would compare the Summer of Jinder with the Summer of George.
Hey, listen, I mean, listen, Jinder should.
I've never seen Jacob fucking flustered like that.
Yeah.
It'd be great if you knew who the Summer of George was.
Costanza.
No, I'm thinking of I don't know. I was born 2000.
So back to what we were talking about before Jacob fucking mauled us. I go back to looking at guys. You gotta
create a segment for that, though. It's just like you've just been mauled.
I look back and I think about, what you could do that, right? You could actually just take clips of Jinder Mahal and then
just every time I've not even interrupted, just a splice in there of just Jinder Mahal. He's going to be there in the annals of history.
So what do you do? The annals of history?
Yeah.
So basically what you do is
fun fact, I got suspended in 7th grade because they told us they're like, oh, you have to give an oral report on this. And I'm like, I'm like, oral report, I'll give him an anal report. And I got suspended for that.
So if you do that,
2 days in school,
all you'll have to do is have Jinder say you've been mauled and just have him going. But hold on. Back to that. But they played on different dynamics back in the NWA days. Look at somebody. Okay, FTR. I will argue that they're one of the better tag teams I've ever seen ever. The FTR. I would say that FTR to me is better than the Usos. I like the Usos. I like the Uso penitentiary gimmick. But FTR. Yes. The FTR takes a lot from the Brainbusters, but even more so, there was another team they take from that. Even they took their theme music. Jim Cornette's favorite tag team. Jim Cornette did so much work with this tag team, and that would be the Midnight Express. I'm sorry, the Midnight Express. And they played. They knew their audience, and it wasn't that they were gay. They were absolutely ladies' men, but they played on that. They talked about fucking Jim Cornette and his mommy and this and that. And they would play because back in the 80s in the South, to be homosexual, you better. It was just that's the way it was.
Well, if you think about it like this, Terry Gordy.
Oh Jesus!
Michael Hayes.
Jesus.
You want to go? You want to go to the South? Look at Bad Street USA. Okay, I'm just saying. All I'm trying to bring up is the fact of when you hear Regal talk like this, you say, "Hey, for decades, guys got over without."
What did Macho Man tell the Big Show back when he was in WCW? Less is more. Less is more. If Hogan wants to pay, let him pay. Quit trying to run with the Joneses. Let him.
How many times has Hogan said, Rowdy Piper took the sleeper hold. I took the leg drop. If I had just taken the sleeper hold as my finish.
Again, and the leg drop.
Hogan also said he was going to be a bassist for Metallica.
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is the fact of,
we could not go one episode without fucking Gerard bringing up Hulk Hogan. But
no, I'm just saying he has a point to saying I didn't need to do what I did with my body. Piper didn't do it, but Piper
okay, let's go. If you want to talk about Hogan, what was one of the most devastating moves of all time? The camel clutch, and he made that shit look like he was killing people.
But it stretched your back. That's all it did. It stretched their backs. Like, thanks for stretching my back for me.
And again, there's this theory of you have to keep pushing and pushing, but why? As much as I love the old Hardy matches, the Edge, the Christians, and the Dudleys, I really believe that was a catalyst for we got to go bigger. We got to go bigger. We got to go bigger.
That's why I say sometimes.
I mean, it's really it's what fucked up Edge's neck. I mean, the fact that everyone denies that Jeff Hardy doesn't have CTE is kind of sad.
I think that again, I don't know Jeff personally, but
I don't know Jeff personally, and I would again.
I'm of the opinion that he, when he was drinking as much as he was, I think he was using that to cope for pain. I mean, he can't. You're not going to tell me that the guy has not done the body of work that he's done, and is not in fucking constant pain.
Think about the person we started talking with. We started talking about Mick Foley. You don't think Mick Foley doesn't have some screws loose?
And the fact that Mick Foley is just an anomaly in and of himself.
But then again, Mick Foley took bumps that were not necessary. We can try to justify it all day long, but jumping off a 20-foot cage onto a fucking plastic fucking table.
Yeah.
That's not good for the body. And again, we go back to saying this is scripted, right?
Falling through a cage and hitting the ring.
Which that was an accident. And I can forgive that one because it was an accident.
And his tooth is hanging through his nose.
Again,
Mick Foley's just the greatest of all time, man. This guy, he was like, I'm not taking out my bottom dentures because I've earned these scars. I'm like, yeah.
No, when you say no, I would say he's the greatest stunt performer of all time.
That's not wrestling. Okay, so what part you just fucking finally, thinking. You got it for me. I watch and I enjoy professional wrestling, and that is two guys over there competing hold for hold. I'm sorry, in amateur wrestling, am I allowed to jump off a 20-foot fucking cage? In amateur wrestling, am I allowed to take a fucking steel chair and bean you to death with it?
You know what match? I could watch Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart.
God, one of the greatest fucking matches. He ripped his singlet towards the end, and you know what kills me is Perfect was in so much pain because of his back, and it looked absolutely
perfect.
But
I'm saying that's the kind of matches today to get two guys in. Like, put it this way: is there anybody who technically could get in the ring right now in Gunther and actually have a wrestling match with Gunther?
No. You know what I would love?
Unless if you really build up Brock, but even then it's just kind of like there's and even then I don't think anyone's going to be interested in a Brock and Gunther match, because
sadly it was at WrestleMania 21 or 2021, WrestleMania 21, and it was the death of professional wrestling for me. I think it's the last time we're going to get a match this good. On one end, you had Shawn Michaels. On the other end, you had a guy we've talked about, a guy I would love to sit down and talk to on the show, Kurt Angle. And what they did in the ring was by far on my top 5 greatest, not just WrestleMania matches, but matches of all time. What they did in there.
As much as people want to call it out, the match him and Benoit had at the Royal Rumble.
The saddest thing, about Benoit, I don't know what happened to that guy. He went somewhere. But Kurt Angle said himself, when WWE effectively erased Benoit from history, Kurt Angle said he got rid of all my best matches. Because it's true. If you look back,
they had to. Let's be fair, they had to.
Well, no, 100%. It's also there's something called a wrestling soulmate, and those two were definitely
coming from Kurt's own mouth talking to him. Coming from Kurt's own mouth talking to him, and him saying to me, it was his favorite guy because he never felt like he was actually working.
But then, if you look at Kurt
never felt like he was actually working.
I'll say this: Kurt had that chemistry with anybody who was a professional. I would have loved.
Just look at the match he had with Shane.
Well, I'm not just that. I'm talking about. I would have loved to have seen Kurt go have an Iron Man match with the best there is, the best there was.
Oh my God!
That match could have brought people to tears because of they just imagine going hold for hold those two.
It would have gotten the. Let's just put it this way: it would
have been as good as Jinder Mahal and franchise Shane Douglas.
No. It would have been not. It would have lived up to Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought up Drew. I'm glad you.
No, what I will say, what I'm getting at is if Kurt Angle would have had that opportunity, they would have, like, if Bret Hart, Kurt Angle had that opportunity, they would have gotten the fight forever chant long before Sami Zayn and Shinsuke. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been, I don't know, something.
That's
something
another one that's very underrated.
Would you say Kurt Angle is our generation's Ric Flair?
I wouldn't go that far. I think so here's the thing about Ric Flair.
Ring, he's always
I'm saying in ring, just in ring.
No, because I don't. Okay, so this is going to be a hot take, and this is not trying to like be funny. I don't think Ric Flair was that great in ring. I think he did the same match every night.
I'm talking about all around. Because
I don't think he was the best all around. He was one of the best talkers, and the man had a consistency because he did the same match every fucking night.
My thing when it came to Kurt, he could be funny. He could be serious, but his in-ring work never took a back seat. No matter what.
Kurt's the greatest versatile performer of all time. Like, he could adapt to all. Like,
I would agree with that. Only, and there's one wrestler that proves that to me, because Kurt's wrestled your Steve Austins, who were a brawler at the time. Kurt's wrestled fucking your high flyers, who were particularly just high flyers. He's like a Shawn Michaels. He's wrestled fucking absolute fucking multi-star hybrid animals like Brock and Samoa Joe. But the guy that he had matches with, that he made it look amazing, and you got to go to TNA for this. When Kurt, okay, so I'm going to quote Dusty Rhodes. When Dusty Rhodes talked about Ric Flair, he said, "It was magic when we touched. It was magic to watch Kurt Angle and AJ Styles." If you've never watched a Kurt versus AJ match, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, because Kurt made AJ and no one can deny that. You can sit there and argue and say it was Daniels and some. No, it was Kurt against AJ. Anytime they went at each other for the belt, they brought the best out of each other. It was such beautiful work.
Like I said, there's
a lot of TNA. Oh, sorry, Drew.
No, I was going to say, there are just guys in the business that get it. Kurt Angle got it.
Now, I'll say this. I would say that Shawn Michaels was a great high flyer. I would say that if we're talking about greatest of all time, I think John Cena is by far one of the, if the not best. He's better than The Rock, in my opinion, as far as talkers. And I know that's blasphemous, and I'm not a John Cena guy.
He as an actor, too, to be honest.
He is John Cena is a better talker than The Rock ever was, because The Rock had fucking 3 lines. And what was that, Jacob? What was one of those lines?
What's up?
It doesn't matter. That one. Yeah,
Romy Drive at SmackDown Hotel.
Yeah, that's all he had. Now, John Cena could tear you apart verbally. And again, he didn't have to write his shit on his wrist. John Cena, it does not get the credit he deserves as far as a talker. But if we're talking about passing the torch, I think you go from Ric Flair as being, because he had a repetition, and so he could wrestle anybody. And he always wrestled the same match. That evolved into someone like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, which I think they're a combination. As far as in ring, no one touched Bret Hart. Fuck you if you don't agree with me. Bret Hart had it. Shawn Michaels in ring, added the high flying aspect, had it.
If Hennig could have lasted longer.
Oh God, yes, Hennig. And the only reason I don't add Hennig is because he didn't have the longevity.
Yep.
That's it. That is the only reason. Hennig, for what he produced,
they were mirror images of each other.
Never had a bad match. Hennig never had a bad match ever. I can't.
And he could talk.
You could go back to his AWA days when he was the son of Larry the Axe Hennig and blah blah, and he had matches with Nick Bockwinkel. Never had a when he was teaming with Eddie Stallion. Never had a bad match. Now that transitions into what I'm going to talk about. I think as of this recording here, us now, we look back in the last 10 years. The best bell to bell. We're talking about bout machines. And I love Kenny Omega, but this is not about Kenny. AJ Styles, bell to bell, is the best in-ring performer I have seen in the last 10 years.
Well, and 100%, and especially seeing his match with Cena was really
that.
Not to be like cliche, but it was really nostalgic for me because again. Like I was saying, there's not a lot of nostalgia for TNA. There's not a lot of TNA fans out there that was, I was one of them. I always watched TNA every time it was on Spike TV when it was on TNT for in the beginning. And then In the real beginning, you had to get Fox Sports and you had to pay for the pay-per-views.
No. In the beginnings, it was the paper. It was the weekly pay-per-views.
Yeah, it was the weekly pay-per-views on Wednesdays, and then my dad introduced me to Wednesday pay-per-views, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it was really weird to me. That's when I got introduced to guys like Elix Skipper. That's when I got like
another guy that just never got his due.
You know what's funny?
He's managing the Chili's right now. He's really fine.
I'm going to put you like this.
I'm not being.
I believe you.
No, I'm being like, look it up.
So a guy who I don't like very much anymore because of the things that me and Gerard have talked about, but a guy who I loved in the ring as far as his personality. He's now the manager. Last I checked, he's a manager for Walmart. His name is fucking Shane Douglas. I don't like Terry. I'm not a fan of Terry, but yeah, last I checked was managing a Walmart.
Well, here's my thing
you go check out your groceries and you have a complaint and Shane Douglas.
AJ Styles makes you want to watch some of his matches. In the past 10 years, I can say the one wrestler who made me want to watch their matches is actually Charlotte. Because forget how she is on the mic. She knows how to work the crowd and she knows how to work with her opponents.
I would agree with that. I wish she didn't win against Asuka at WrestleMania. I think Asuka should have taken that, but that's just me.
I'll plead on this one.
Now I will say this: someone whose mic work has come leaps and bounds. I watched him on Friday, and I wanted to punch him in the fucking face.
Kit Wilson.
And it's really blown my mind to see the evolution so much that I'm actually looking forward to a match in WWE. He was the chosen one. And now he's just he is a super troll because, sometimes he gets bored at work. Drew McIntyre. I mean, he needs to win that belt.
He needs to win that belt. I don't think he's going to. And if he doesn't, then Tony Khan, buy him out of his fucking contract. Because, again, I'm not a big fan of Drew. I've always been a fucking Drew. Man, it's like when I remember going back in the days of SmackDown versus Raw 2011. They would play the. By the way, for any of you video
Rogan
play, they would just keep playing. Every time you pause the game.
Here's a question for you, Jacob.
What's up?
What do we do if tomorrow night you hear "Break the Walls Down"?
Oh well, I mean, again, I think I'm not going to even consider that because I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream today, Junior. No, I'm going to sit on the top of my porch and I'm going to go. I am the learning tree, and then I'm going to.
Well, which I'm going to put you like this. So I was telling somebody, it's like if he comes home tomorrow night, the next match they're in North America for is in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. For Saturday night's main event.
But hold on. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? They're going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
And
he says he's not Canadian, right?
And to have Jericho come back tomorrow night, but then
I don't want the fucking.
Do we actually think
we get the Festival of Friendship for Saturday night's main event?
Hey, listen, the Festival of Friendship was amazing, but I will ask Trips first. Do you think Jericho? I'll ask the whole panel, but I'll start with Trips. Is the greatest of all time, the GOAT, the Wizard, the Ocho,
I do like the name of the Ocho.
A little bit of the bubbly.
The little bit
Did we actually buy some of that shit?
No.
What other nicknames did he have during AEW? I swear he went through fucking. I like the Wizard the best because it was so ridiculous. He was throwing fireballs that never connected to people's faces. It was fucking awesome. But is Y2J going to return tomorrow night? I'll leave it to the panel.
Adam Pearce.
Please, God, no.
I asked Trips first.
Yeah, I don't want him to, but it could happen. I don't know why all of a sudden WWE is doing these. Hey, one final run for all these people who haven't been there for forever and a day. I don't think he has a place, but I think they'll do it. But I don't agree with it.
I'm in a firm belief that for him to come back right now and not wait till the Royal Rumble, just so that you could have him tomorrow night, you see him again for Saturday night's main event, then he goes back to Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble. Let him get as much as he can.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is also the same man that wanted to have the Miz argue with a cardboard cutout of himself.
I just don't understand why somebody who left the company to help start a new company deserves to come back and have all this stuff done for him at the company he left. I don't understand that.
Okay, then we're talking to the same person about Cody Rhodes then.
I would agree. I thought it was a mistake for Cody Rhodes to come back. I thought
Cody
it was
Rhodes. Sorry.
What's up with
Right,
that?
sorry.
Y'all know who I feel, and you know we're 30 minutes left. And I do want to talk about something we were talking about with Jacob last week. Hold on.
Oh God. Now you look like you know who he looks like, Trips? What was Earthquake's name in the oddities?
Oh, Golga.
Golga.
I would like to talk about a AAA wrestling lucha libre and the greatest luchador of all time, El Grande. Americano.
You did hear that they come out and announce that even when Chad Gable comes back, Ludwig Kaiser is going to stay El Grande Americano.
As he should.
I don't know what you're talking about. This
What
Ludwig
the hell are you
Kaiser.
guys talking about?
El
Ludwig
Grande
Kaiser
Americano
disappeared.
has been forever. His favorite wrestler is El Santo, who I wrestled many times as the Blue Demon.
You mean the Blue Blazer?
The Blue Demon
The Blue Blazer.
is Blue Demon Jr. El hijo de Blue Demon.
Well, here's the thing with El Grande Americano and his confidants, Bravo and Rayo.
Bravo Israel.
Bravo and Rayo. We are in a renaissance of the luchador, and I am all for it. It's tickled me pink that
Where's your Elmo doll? Where's your Elmo doll?
Oh, yeah. So it's been a good time that AAA has gotten the spotlight, that it has. I'm really looking forward to what they do with that, because the only thing they've really done is have Chelsea Green and Ethan Page become the mixed tag team champions, which is fine because as long as we have
keep going.
But as long as we have Chelsea Green on multiple shows, I'm all for that. But again, this partnership with AAA, it's something I've been wanting for a long time. I just think they need to do like a tournament or something like a big world, because I think WWE's buying Pro Wrestling Noah pretty soon. So I think they need to do a World Cup tournament.
Can we talk
with
about
the Mexicanos and the Japanos?
Can we talk about how over he is in fucking Mexico? Can we talk about
it's ridiculous, because they knew in that one in the last event they did, they had to essentially turn El Grande Americano face in front of the Mexican crowd, because they had no choice, because he's getting cheered way too much.
Well, it was the opposite of fucking Vikingo. Vikingo had to be turned heel because they were very upset that he took the belt off
because they want Alberto.
Well, again, I don't like Alberto. I don't think he's a piece of shit. That's my opinion. Whatever. But you look at someone like Ludwig Kaiser, I think he's from Austria, or he's German. And I can explain it. And I don't
steps to the ring.
Huh?
He 2 steps to the ring like a Nazi hitman.
Really, you fucking prick, really. But what I'm saying is, you understand that do you understand why he's so popular, Gerard?
In the mask?
No, in general, as a character, because they know it's him. I'm breaking character right now and admitting that, yes.
First of all, 1, because it's different. Okay.
No.
2, because everybody knows he's playing a gimmick that he shouldn't be playing.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
You're going to catch me on officially tomorrow on the Cubics channel. These fucks expose the business they're talking about. Sorry.
So the reason why the Mexican crowd loves El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser, is because he took the time and he cares about the gimmick. He learned.
And he got a really nice Latina girlfriend, by the way. Like, have you seen his new girlfriend? Just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're super cute together. I love watching.
Oh my god, the new interview. Oh my god, she's great.
Tiffany
They
Stratton
should have her on every single show. I don't care. Don't have her speak any. Like, I don't think she does. She know how to speak English? I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Him and Tiff Stratton
Doesn't
together?
matter.
No, they broke up months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, no, good.
So how much you know. So what I'm saying
I
is,
showed you a video
not
of
you.
him.
I'm talking- yeah, Gerard. Yeah, Gerard.
I could kill
Well, I mean, this guy, supposedly Ludwig. I mean, I'm going to say this: Ludwig is winning. He's the most over guy on the roster for me, at least. I think he's winning. But sorry, go ahead, Dan.
What I'm saying is that Gerard, the man went down there. He didn't patronize these people. He learned the culture. He learned the music. He learned the fucking language. He went down and he indoctrinated himself into the Mexican culture, and to win over the Mexican crowd. So and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Well, and he speaks Spanish way too good that like he definitely has known the language for a while. Like he speaks Spanish way too good.
You know that, Dan?
What?
Especially with the name of Americano, because we all know Mexico does not exactly favor the United States of America.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
I mean, yeah, but like, not really.
Americano is huge down in Mexico.
Not really, though. I mean, there's a reason why the biggest.
That's why I go to the Gulf of America.
We call it the Gulf of America.
Like, there's a reason why the biggest star in AAA for the longest time was Marco Corleone, which was Mark Jendrak from fucking WWE. The reason why he got over was because he was over American. And, he was like, I'm Marco Corleone. But then he got onto a lot of Mexican soap operas. Like, he was really popular in that because he really, again, like what Dan was saying, he learned the language. But again, like Ludwig, like if we're really breaking kayfabe, like Ludwig, you could tell this guy probably knows Spanish, like because he's way too fluent to like just.
He's too fluent. He knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking. Depart. Get him out of here.
He went down there. He went, Gerard. What you're not understanding is.
Think about this. Really, he wears a mask. He's
hold up.
Pretending to be an American. Pretending to be a Mexican.
No habla inglés, por favor. Gracias.
What I'm telling you right now, Gerard, what you don't get, he's not like this John Cena guy. He went down there. He learned the language. He wears an America. He's all about America. I say give him a green card right now. I think he can come behind the wall. He's fine.
Well, the fact that he's so over is honestly like...
He's huge. Let's be honest, Jacob, let's be honest, he's huge. He's
huge. But like realistically, he's fucking way over. Like you got the biggest response on that whole AAA show.
He and this thing, like Dominic gets a fucking huge response down in Mexico, but I would argue that El Grande Americano's character is well over. I'm looking forward to what happens when Chad Gable returns. I'm again, WWE has the potential to do shit that gets the most jaded of fans interested again. It's what they do with it. Just like, okay, WrestleMania is going to be in fucking Saudi Arabia with a bullet. Huh?
Not this year.
I know, but they're going to be in Saudi Arabia with a bullet. AEW has the opportunity to really capitalize if they can get there.
Well, I've said about that. All AEW has to do is just run somewhere big, like run a big venue.
Run Madison Square.
I've been calling that since they first announced it.
Yeah, like Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden would be nice, but like they got to run somewhere.
Run the Lowell Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Run the Lowell Arena.
I don't know, like do the fucking somewhere fucking.
Lowell and Boston about 30 miles apart. So
I would hope the Arizona Financial Center. That's where they're coming in the next couple weeks. They're going to be there.
The Larry Shoes Arena in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. It'd be beautiful. I would do.
It'll be a big, beautiful match.
Now, if you
awesome.
think like this, if you want to hurt WWE in their backyard, you put a show like All In the building that these people play in.
Well, like don't the fucking Jaguars own a stadium? Like, why don't they ever put anything in there? Like, does Tony like that's the whole fucking
they did.
Put
Anarchy in the arena.
Hey, for 2 years.
But like an empty arena, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what they do. But
they
is there
sell out in their own city?
Yeah, they can't sell out in Florida. So like realistically, they could. I feel like they could have a couple. Like had COVID not happened, I feel like they would be probably selling out by now. I'm gonna be honest about that. And had Brody Lee lived, I'm gonna put that little caveat in there too. Just saying.
Put it this way, we had a discussion last week of how do they sell out of their pay-per-views, but they get 2,000 to 3,000 people on Wednesdays, and if they're lucky to get 2,000 people for Saturday nights. What's the
What up, Jason?
What's the crack?
Jason?
He's from Ireland, so he says things like, "What's the crack?"
Oh,
what's the crack, mate?
He's from Ireland. It must
Doesn't mean you need to fucking imitate him, you dick. What the hell? He's Irish.
He needs to go back to his old school.
It must be like 2 o'clock in the morning over there right now, lad.
He was the chair of
Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Did you just say lad?
Lad, yes.
Look how happy he is. It's so
Hey.
wonderful.
Hey, Jason, I hope you have a Guinness.
Jessen.
I hope you have a Guinness. What?
I would like to apologize from all of us here at the Marks podcast for anything that comes out of the mouth of Gerard.
I mean,
listen, I'm from Boston.
I love
He's
that
from Canada.
He tried. That's what
I'm
it was.
Boston.
It was an Irish accent. It was an attempt at an Irish accent, and then it turned into whatever the fuck that was. I don't.
It's the same language that Cena came from.
Kind of Jordan.
Dan and Jacob.
Justin.
It's 2:30 in the morning over there. He might be having a banger.
No, look at there.
Okay.
Oh, what?
It's no try January.
Oh, I ain't going to
No
Ireland
try
in January.
January.
It looks like I ain't going to Ireland in January.
They're going to deport you right back to fucking America when you get there. They're going to have signs.
The only Irish, like Scottish, like accent I have is just going to be a General Jerry impression. Like it's just going to be like shout out to General Jerry.
Jacob, you could pass for the guy from the movie Leprechaun. Where's me gold coin?
I'm tired of your proud ways.
Oh my god.
Too many lies.
Too many lies.
You
It's
wear
not
your scene like
Royd
it's some
Sally
kind of
Royd. It's not Royd Sally Royd. It's Ride Sally Royd.
That's Boondock Saints.
Well,
Boondock
while we're on the subject, though, we could ask Jason, does he believe that his fellow countrywoman is the greatest wrestler of all time?
Okay, hold on. Let me translate to that. Jacob, to translate from fucking Bostonian or whatever the fuck that is Gerard said, do you feel that Becky Lynch is the greatest female wrestler of all time? It's not me saying it. Other people are saying it.
I mean, I don't know what I blame Seth for this. I didn't think that talent was sexually transmitted, but here we go. I blame Seth for this because before, like pre-Seth, she was great, but like after Seth, it's just been horrible. There hasn't been a match.
Let's be honest. Her peak was at WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and then
like there it is, right there, Rhea Ripley.
No, Rhea Ripley rules. Oh my god, I want to Rhea her Ripley.
Well, I'll put it. I don't even think the best woman, the best woman wrestler, is even mentioned sometimes in that.
What Bird Girl? Right? We're talking. Can we talk about Bird Girl? Yeah. Woo!
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Blue Pants.
Oh, I love Blue Pants, man. Don't give me wherever she is, the librarian.
Put this way, unfortunately, I would still put Sherry above Becky Lynch.
Martel?
I still put Sherry Martel.
I know, but where we're talking, are you talking about right now, currently, who's the best female wrestler?
Oh, like right now, currently,
take your pick. You don't
right now, currently. I mean, I mean, you can't really go wrong with someone like Willow Nightingale. You can't go wrong. Like,
you're damn right, Jason.
If we're talking WWE specifically, I mean, you know, the biggest star power they really got right now is, I mean, well, I would say Stephanie Vaquera, but they haven't fucking showed her too much. So really, there isn't.
They showed her every week, but again, Stephanie Vaquera, I feel, has suffered from the same thing that most people who get in her position do.
Still,
All talk, no substance, and they're putting her in feuds that just don't make sense.
They're putting her with Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella ain't doing any favors for Stephanie Vaquero.
Exactly, and that's the problem I have with Nikki Bella. She is where wrestling goes to die. I'm sorry, you watch her wrestle, and it's like fucking watching paint dry. And this is not a knock at Nikki as a fucking person. I'm sorry, she's always sucked. Okay, Nikki Bella is the equivalent of a fucking participation trophy. Back then, when they said she's made vast improvements, cool, you can turn a fucking F into a C real easy by trying real hard. Either you got it or you don't. She was a pair of pneumatic tits with some long legs, and that's all she was ever fucking going to contribute to the business. Again,
I'll tell you this way: like when they had Alicia Fox come out in one of the past Royal Rumbles this past year, and they were like, "Oh, WWE, here's a legend, Alicia Fox." I'm like, what?
She can okay. So, but Jason, she can be hot and still suck at wrestling.
Well, hey man, Oksana was hot.
You shouldn't use that word if you're calling her hot too. Hot and still suck? No.
At wrestling. I said I made sure I add that because you again, I know that I'm dealing with fucking toddlers at time.
Well, hey, listen,
at wrestling.
Listen, like, look how fucking hot fucking Eva Marie was for a little bit there. I mean, I wouldn't say.
The fucking
Jacob, I think you could wrestle better than that woman.
He's not talking about her wrestling. He's talking about her fucking. He's talking about.
No, but he could wrestle better than her. She was brought in for one reason and one.
I could be more fucking attractive than she, because she never even tried. Like, she would come out there and it looked like she was like so stiff. Like it was. I could pretend, you know. But what's up? What Jason?
I'm gonna say Eva Marie.
Jason, it has been fucking almost 10 years at this point. Spell my name right, motherfucker. It's spelled with a K, not a C.
That's what we call him, Jacoby. We call him Jacoby.
When it came to her, she was there for one reason only, for eye makeup.
Again, and that's what I'm telling you. The total Bella's era of wrestling was bullshit, because when you're giving a participation trophy out, I'm sorry, Nikki was never good.
Brie was the better of the two.
Again, and that's not saying much, because Brie was training with her husband, but again, talent is not an STD. I'm sorry. Nikki and Brie were from a time that just didn't work. This is again, AJ Lee was their top star, but AJ Lee, in my opinion, can't hang with the girls today.
I will put it like this. That promo she still got in 2015 is still better than any promo women cut today.
I would agree with that. 100%.
I would agree with you, but I really wish that, like, because I tried to go back and watch that promo. I wish there was like a thing where you can mute the Bellas in that promo, because like you watch that promo back, like AJ Lee.
Come and say it to my face.
Say it to my face.
The thing was,
oh my God!
Why are they channeling? What was his name? Riley. He was fucking John Cena. Apparently got him kicked out.
Alex Riley.
Say it to my face.
Great theme song, by the way.
That's horrible.
It's a great theme song. Come on, man.
Say it to my face.
Come on.
It's been 10 years since they let a woman actually rip the other women apart.
Oh man, they should have channeled the
fucking blast. That one right there.
They should have channeled the fucking blast and Oppenheimer. But
Becky Lynch being the savior, Becky Lynch being the best woman wrestler. I'm sorry. There's a woman named Charlotte Flair that I think.
I think Charlotte is better in the ring than Becky ever was. Becky has her moments. I don't like that. I'm not even a fan of her fucking finishing moves. The Bexploder.
Yeah.
The manhandle slam.
The clam slam?
Is it the clam slam?
Not a fan.
I just want to say that I agree with Dan that talent is not we transmitted.
Not a fan of big
Corey
time.
Caitlyn?
Who?
Caitlyn.
Who the fuck is Corey Feldman? Wait. Who is he?
Who
did he sleep with?
Corey Feldman.
Oh.
Who does he remember sleeping with? That's
taking a shot across the bow.
I was talking. Yeah, I was got to be starting something.
No, Caitlyn.
Wait, Corey Feldman.
Caitlyn number one.
Can we listen to Ascension to Millennium right now?
That's right.
I'm like,
wait, Caitlyn was not a great wrestler. I'm gonna be honest with you. She was.
I got my behind. Come on, I'm a Corey fan.
Rhea is good. Caitlyn was not number one, and Trish. Trish was good, but she wasn't like she does not hold a candle to what's going on now. And Lita, loved me some Lita back in the day, but she had a moonsault. I'm sorry, she had a moonsault.
I'm gonna say
if he's gonna put Caitlyn, we might as well just put With Brock Lesnar
for looks, okay, so you can do what you want there. You can have that all you want.
If we're going personal like standards, I'm gonna say AJ Lee #1 for me. Daphne #2. I'm gonna say probably Rhea #3, and then Haystacks.
You know who I'm gonna say?
Sable. That's it. Sable. Why don't we just put Sable #1?
Ew.
And this is gonna, and I hate that I'm gonna bring them.
Sable was a stick figure with tits. Can we talk about that? Like, Jesus.
Okay, what about Miss Jackie?
Oh, Jackie was amazing.
No,
Jackie
not
was
Jackie
awesome.
Gator. Not Jackie.
I'm not Jake Gator. I'm talking about Miss Jackie.
Yeah,
Fucking.
You talk about Jillian Hall, man. Let's talk about
Pride of Tennessee.
Miss Jackie's from Texas.
And in TNA, she was the Pride of Tennessee.
Oh,
because she was with James Storm.
I don't know, man. I mean, Mama Benjamin could get it, you know.
But I'm going to bring the mood down a little bit. Look, I'm going to bring the mood down a bit because the only reason that this channel started doing wrestling content
is because of Mama Benjamin.
It's because of one woman, God rest her soul. And when we did I loved her when I was a kid. I thought she was it. You can have your Litas, you can have your Trishas, but she was both. It was weird. And I think if they gave her the right time to train, she had the fans. Like from day one, she had the fans. Ashley Mazzaro will never get the credit she deserves. And she was this hybrid that I don't think anybody saw coming. We lost her tragically. More people now know about again, Gerard.
I'm going to put you like this, Dan.
Hold on.
He mentioned somebody in the comments, which to me is your modern day Ashley.
Who?
Soruka.
Ruka's good. But this is my issue, though, Gerard. We and I talk about this. You want to know why I don't like Vince, right? You want to know what it is that I like. Look, I will absolutely say that I think the Janelle stuff is 100% a money grab because if it wasn't, this would have gone to federal. This would have gone to fucking. It wouldn't have gone to fucking civil court.
We're in 2 years now.
I know, but it wouldn't have gone to civil court. They would have gone to criminal. Why I don't like Vince McMahon is because in my heart of hearts, after everything that was found out, everything that this woman looked up and researched and put together, I despise him because I think his actions, his lack of action, extinguished her. I think because they didn't care. She's gone, and we'll never see her again. She'll never be. You're never gonna hear. You better hold on to. You'll never hear the Royal Rumble where she comes out and she never gets to wrestle again. She never gets to be in front of the fan base that loved her because they did this to her. I don't like him, Gerard. I despise him because of all the innocent people, everyone that he has had a hand in, he's never come to justice for that. And we've talked about this, but I'm not going to say his name out of respect. There's someone that you made me a believer in this man. You made me believe that this guy was innocent. You made us take, and we never said it publicly. I'll say it now. Well, maybe we did. My bad. We took a video down that she put immense amount of effort on about a mentor of yours. Again, out of respect, I won't say his name. We took a video down. And I truly, to this day, after my interactions with you and everything we've gone through together, you and I have known each other quite a while now, I think he was the fall guy for bullshit that Vince McMahon did. And I think he was so loyal that he died a fucking victim of Vince McMahon. He died a monster. He played the role because he thought that at some point Vince would come out and tell the truth, and he didn't. Pat got to go back, Gerard. Pat got to go back because he was useful to him. But you know who I'm talking about. He didn't. And he died with a broken heart. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I that's why I will never defend that guy. I know that, look, you look at things differently. I will never defend Vince because he's a fucking monster. We lost Ashley Mazzaro. We lost fucking Nancy Argentina. There's so many people that are miserable or their lives were ruined by him. And y'all talk about him coming on to TV. Y'all talk about him being in the Hall of Fame. Fuck him. And that's why. Again, I go back to your mentor because I believe that, Gerard. Like, just like I believe you're telling the truth, just like I believe that everything in your heart and the stories you've told me with the conviction you share, I believe he was another victim. I believe that Vince fucked him over, and it's not right. that he gets to walk away clean.
You know, it's funny because I was telling you earlier today to where I graduated high school 36 years ago, and Jacob, I was talking to him, and my old high school baseball coach ran into me today. Me and him were talking, and he goes, and when I told him my name, he goes, "You were this small little guy in high school. What happened?" And I told him I had to grow up and be a man. Unfortunately, there's people in life that never grow up and become a woman or a man. They just want to hustle their way through life. The person that you're mentioning, Vince, has he ever became that? Or has he just hustled his way through life? We won't never know, because unless he wants us to know, it ain't going to get put out there. Becoming a husband and a father and grandfather and all that stuff, does that make you a man? Running a business, putting people to work, having them do that, does that make you a man? I think honor and loyalty makes you a man. And can I sit here and say he has either one of those qualities 100%? No. There's a lot of people in our lives that we can look at and say they don't have those qualities 100%. But they try to make themselves better. What does he ever come out to try to make himself better for?
And that's what I mean, Gerard. That's what I mean, because you talk so highly about the other man, your mentor. You reached out to a family. You looked out. You were the only person on earth. I can say that. You were the only person on earth that was fighting a fucking uphill battle. You came into my life. You came into my wife's life, and we talked about a man who you were tired of having run through the mud. And if everything went the way, if you had never spoken, if you had never brought it up, it would have died and buried. And yet you fought that good fight. You convinced me, one of the most jaded people in the world. You convinced my wife. Look, if we were about fucking figures and shit like that, we could have just racked up those views. But because of you, I believe in you. And I believe that this guy, and I know, like, you, again, you talk about it would have been right for him to be on TV. And I think I'm slowly making some headway to make you see where I'm coming from. He doesn't deserve shit. He doesn't deserve a Hall of Fame. He doesn't deserve.
I'll say before, and I'll say it again. He has lost his business. He's lost he probably lost a lot of his family's trust. He's been judged without ever being judged in a courtroom. My only thing is, like I said, and this is where my difference with you is, how much more? Because I don't wish death on anybody.
No, I don't wish that.
Unless if you're maybe from the Panhandle. But anyway, on that, that's only because that might be a Yankees fan. But I will say this. Me and you can't do the damage, no matter what kind of stories you put out on him, cannot do the damage to him that he's done to himself. One day, we all going to meet our maker.
Yeah.
And when the day that comes, he's going to have to answer. And that's it.
And I agree with you. And I want to make it clear, I don't wish death on him. I hope he lives a long time. I hope he lives long enough.
That here do.
I hope he lives long. I hope he lives long enough to suffer. And that's fucked for me to say, but
I think that's what he's doing now, because for 2 years, he has lost everything.
Has he though? Has he? Because he's sitting there on a big fat stack of cash.
Listen, I'll put it like this. You've heard multiple times people say they can have all the money in the world. But where has it got you? All the money in the world. Where has it gotten them? Gotten them nowhere.
Gerard, do you think that I'm wrong?
I equate everything that you guys are talking about like this, because Vince was always a microcosm in everything that was done. Like, he had the final say in these past few years in WWE programming, but he was always in the background, really, and then he had the final say to make shit shittier, When Mustafa Ali got over, boom, kibosh. When people got over, kibosh. There was a lot of shit that Vince, got rid of. And I equate it to, like what Gerard's talking about, like in the Stranger Things just ended, right? So let's just, for those of you, Stranger Things just had its final episode. Throughout the show, they're always talking about this character named Eleven, and Eleven's going to solve all of our problems, and every time they're talking about Eleven, like she's going to solve all our problems. And there's this other show called Dragon Ball Z. And there's a similar thing where everyone's talking about Goku, like Goku's going to solve all their problems.
I hope this is leading to something.
But they're never really around, is what I'm saying. So there's a scene where that combines all this ideas. It's called Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Again, I'm going somewhere with this. There's a scene where the characters are like, no, we got to wait for Goku. We got to wait for this. And it's like, can you stop talking about Goku? He's never around. And like that's kind of how I feel when people talk about Vince nowadays. It's like, Vince was like, when was the last Vince like good created Vince storyline? Can we even dissect that? Can we really think about when, because Vince has been the be all end all. Like I don't know,
and he's not anymore, Jacob. But like again, I want to go back to with Gerard. Can you? When I say what I say, when I truly tell you that I believe that Vince threw your mentor under a bus and allowed him not only to get run over, but he allowed him to get run over, dug the hole, threw him in there, and poured the fucking 10 feet of concrete up and let him go heartbroken into the night alone. Am I wrong to think that? Am I wrong to think that this guy who had his back all these years, and you told me he was loyal. Am I wrong to think that Vince let him sink because it was, as they would say in the business, best for business? You know these people better than I do.
I would never not sit here and say that as a businessman. And there's a line of business. There's no such thing as friends in business. I think in my mind sometimes that's exactly how he felt. No such thing as friends. And, you never let personal get involved in business.
Even if you're destroying a man's life?
Even if you don't let personal get involved in business decisions. Unless it's family or if that person can make you money.
Here's why I say that. Go back to
because Pat Patterson made him money.
That's what I'm saying. Go back to those interviews when he talked about him. Not Pat.
Yep.
We fired him. He doesn't work for us. Anything he's ever said on a public platform. And again, I've had time to replay this over. And I'll be honest, at least once a month I watch my wife's fucking video. Because I always need to fucking think about
it. The first interview that came out on one of the shows, he was fired. And for the first time he was fired. The second time when they put him on Phil Donahue. When they put him on Phil Donahue.
Gerard, hold on.
I disagree. I mean, I know what he said, and I know that there's a technicality linked to what he said was he's never been employed by the. He made it sound like he never existed. His first response on Larry King Live was, he's never worked for the. He's not an employee. He's never been an employee.
Never, correct, and he wasn't lying though.
He's not lying, but he
was never an employee.
But again, that's like them saying that
an employee that you paid $800,000 to leave. Like,
no, I'm saying he was never an employee.
Playing.
It's the independent contractor thing all over again. And again,
I get it, but it's smarmy.
It's slimy. And again,
I'll ask this. Do you think that had this person, formed a better relationship with Vince?
They were. That's the thing, Jacob.
Problem.
They were.
Here's what I'm asking though. Had he?
I want you to hear one thing. If this guy was still alive today, Vince McMahon would be shaking in his boots over their shit. This guy knew about Vince McMahon,
and so he.
Well, that's I think. Did he ever pitch like? Had he pitched a character that would have gotten over? You know what I mean? Like
no. I'm just saying to you.
No.
That's the key words to this. If this guy had lived for this trial, Vince McMahon would be shaking in his boots
because of the skeletons he had.
now.
And the problem I have is, and then, again, it's taken over a year, but I think Gerard and I are on the same page. I despise Vince McMahon, and the reason is because innocent, hardworking, loyal, good-hearted people had their lives destroyed for him to get an extra couple dollars in his pocket. Innocent people.
In fairness, Dan, in the business that they're in, he wasn't the only one to do it.
I don't give a fuck. He was the head of the snake.
No, I'm just saying, no, he wasn't the only one.
When you say wrestling, especially that time period,
right? I'm just saying he wasn't the only snake in the grass. He was the biggest snake in the grass, but
and
he
if you cut that head off of that snake, what kind of business do we have now? Do we have a union? Gerard, who was the biggest proponent for or biggest negative for a union all these years?
Him.
Who fired how many people over the idea of a union? We're bringing it full circle right now. We're overtime. We're overtime now. Who was the biggest opponent of a fucking union? Not because he cared about the people, but because he cared about money in his pocket.
You know what the funny part is? And I want you guys to hear this. How many buildings that they go into are unionized? So if you're union yourself, that takes care of it.
That's why they just got to have them fight for real, bro. Put them in the ring. Have them fight for real.
We went overtime so he can talk like Vince Russo. Cut that off.
We're going to make it a brawl. No, not just a brawl. A brawl for all.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.